Good evening, YouTube. Rob Wall back after a short break. I've been so busy lately, I do apologise. I haven't been able to post any videos for the last week or so. I've been that busy. But I've got my friend Brian, my work colleague from work. A few people have requested that we have another chat, myself and Brian. So here we are. Good evening, Brian.
Good evening, my friend. Good evening.
Okay. My question to you, Bri, is in view of what's happened in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
What we've seen.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen looking forward? What do you think the ultimatum? What do you think the goal? What their agenda? What do you think is going to happen? Spill the beans, my friend.
Well, I think if you look back on last video that we did, I think a few things that we've turned around and said are actually happening now, aren't we?
You might raise your voice a little bit.
I think a few things that we said on the last video, I think have kind of proven me and you right, where we turned around and said we think it's going to be a situation where you're going to have to, live with it. I'm surprised there's not as much demand anymore for people to go and be, we've gone from spending billions and billions promoting treatments, shall we say, or things that are supposed to prevent it. But I seen certain person get a knighthood, and once he's got his knighthood, I don't actually think that I've ever seen him on television since, from seeing him nearly every night at week for 2 years or 18
You can mention
months.
A name here.
Well, Chris Whitty.
Chris Whitty.
Chris Whitty, he's gone, hasn't he? He's gone.
He's disappeared.
He's disappeared. As a few of the people that were out bigging it all up. I'm not hearing much press coverage from an ex-owner of a big computer company. He's not about so much. There's things where me and you going back, I think we turned around and said that we're going to find that things are going to start happening to people and things are going to start coming out. I don't know, because we're not getting any statistics, and to be honest with you, I can't really be bothered sending in and asking under public freedom, because it's all a swizz anyway. But there's so many diseases that are coming out now, and so many people are getting shingles again. There's healthy people coming out with heart conditions. And they're just saying that it's just a generational thing. It's one of those things that the generation's going through, but they weren't saying that in 2019. It's just something that they've been saying it last 2 years. Healthy athletes dropping like flies.
Are you familiar with Agenda 22? Have you heard
I look at things all the time, and to be honest with you, there's that much out there. And the thing about it is, the thing that's really happening now is. And people, in fact, it's actually a word that I'm not hearing so much getting bandied about, and it's dropped off dramatically. When you used to turn around and say something 12 months ago, 6 months ago, straight away you were called a conspiracy theorist. That term has gone now, because we're not conspiracy theorists. What's actually happening is, well, if you want to class me as one, what's actually happening is we're actually quite psychic.
We're actually conspiracy factists.
Factists, not theorists. Yeah. It's very strange what's happening. We've got children that are developing hepatitis. We've got people that are suddenly, and it's happened to a member of my family, getting told that she will be getting, they will be doing blood tests, and blood tests that will be doing on her because she's four-timed. Unfortunately, but she's just
what, sorry?
Four-timed.
What does that mean?
Is it four? Is it four now they're up to?
Oh, the
Jimmy. She's everyone.
Right. Okay.
And I think something happened not so long ago where she had to go for. I don't want to. Well, we named
what we use the term on that, Brian. We don't call it the VACC.
Well, it's not. Well, it can't be, because it has.
We call it vacation.
No, because something.
Full-time vacation.
A full-time vacation.
That's
because
it
can't be the other word, because the other word means that you're protected against it and it's doing nothing apart from creating all sorts of other problems. But there's hepatitis growing, people getting shingles again. I think there's a famous person who just left ITV, just doing a news channel at the moment. I think he's just got shingles for the second time. I think that were unheard of before this. And I do believe, I'm not 100% sure, but I think that the person who we're just talking about, who's 4-timed, is actually being told that when they take some blood tests, which they will be doing, they will be testing her for HIV.
Right. I've heard a few stories about people who have actually been diagnosed with
HIV that haven't had sex for
Yes.
and gone through nearly every single blood test for
Yes.
years and years.
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't know where is it going. I haven't got a clue, because the thieves have took the money now, haven't they? So they're all set. They're all set up. Whatever.
Oh, they haven't took it all yet.
Well, somebody got raided the other week, which was actually quite interesting. Hopefully, there's a few more. But it's just strange to me how in politics, how people just suddenly slide off and disappear, and you see no more.
Yeah.
You know, people. You know, people who have said, people who were pushed out during the people who were pushed out during the pandemic. Politicians, the same ones over and until they got a bit of back bottle and stopped doing it. And now, I don't know if you've ever watched any of the television programs now. I mean, the desperados that they're getting on the TV news channels now,
Desperados,
because anybody with an ounce of credibility
Desperado.
cannot go on that. I mean, I don't know if they realise what they're doing to themselves. You know, they're clutching on to the wrong end of the stick, and when in 5 years' time, there's going to be a few people looking down at their hands, and there's going to be a bit of shit on their hands because they've grabbed the wrong end of the stick and they've gone for the wrong pony. I'm telling you now, because this last 2 years have absolutely just sealed one thing to me, and that is that politics are corrupt,
Right.
run by the corrupt.
I've never voted in my life. Never.
I
And
can't.
do you know why?
It's
you know why I've never
a
voted?
struggle to live on £84,000 a year.
Yeah.
250 grand for a newspaper column that he writes for 2.5 hours on a Sunday morning that he's had to give up. £250,000 described as chicken feed. You know,
They're all corrupt, right?
If all that money, what the hell is he hoping to gain at the end of this if he's working for 183 grand and 250 with chicken? I don't know anybody. I don't know anybody who turns around and goes from a job at more money to a job that less money, unless there's going to be something coming out of it. The only God-saving thing is that if any of these American universities or any of these big companies that are currently paying the going rate for the speakers to go around, which I think they're on about 2.5 million or something ridiculous like that. It's a ridiculous amount of money you get paid for speaking at some of these conventions. I just hope to God that he's done that much damage to himself that nobody will even touch him. I hope he's one of the very few prime ministers that come out of this and just don't make anything apart from some sad book that'll make him a couple of $100
I've
grand.
never voted in my life, Brian.
It's no point. It's no point, because I'll be truthfully honest with you. They're all as bad as each other, because that place where they all go to work on the morning is an absolute joke.
Yeah.
It's a hive of there's coke being found all over the place. 38,000.
Don't forget about the pornography.
Pornography searches, 138,000. Now, I don't mind anybody doing stuff like that, and
Yeah,
it's
but in
up
the
to
House
them.
of Commons.
But in the House of Commons with government Wi-Fi, I mean, you know, what? You know, I there's plenty of places. I don't think you can go into a hospital and use a hospital Wi-Fi and get a bet on.
No, you can't.
Because it's an over 18 website, and you can go into the House of Commons and watch.
What comes to mind if I say Elon Musk?
Oh! Do you know what? I at beginning, you know, I thought, oh, you're very, very, very clever man. You've just got one of them brains, but he's, you know, they do say that geniuses have kinks, and I think I found out, because he is clean. There's nothing bad out there that I would even have thought about. I thought he was quite a clean. I've heard a few stories about him and things, but with this trial that's going on this week, which I'm finding absolutely fantastic. And if it goes any other way, and I tell you one thing as well, if he wins in America, he better come back over here.
Be a bit more specific about
Johnny Depp, if he wins in America,
Yeah.
he better get his ass back over here and get that. Can I swear or not?
Yeah, you can
get
swear.
that fucking newspaper
Ooh.
sorted out,
Ooh.
because that paper has got away with so much. Do you know? I'm as a place, Liverpool. I'm not a big fan of it, but I tell you something now. The whole fact about what they did with that newspaper is just fantastic, and I love it. The spirit, the both fans, even Evertonians.
Did you hear that, Johnny Depp, by the way?
He's got to come back for him.
He said, I want nothing more to do with Disney. Because they rejected him. And Disney,
And do you know what? And do you know what?
Six,
And do you know what?
six, mate.
And do you know what? I actually and do you know something as well? Dior. Everybody go out and buy some Dior. Because I think somebody at Dior somebody at Dior must have seen, because they never even
So I thought
quibbled.
about an aftershave there.
Yeah, well, they've not quibbled, mate. They've not shaken. They've not quibbled. They've not. They've seen, somebody at Dior has seen something, and just totally. This is bullshit from the beginning. Even after getting found guilty over here in this country, at Dior never fit. They know something. They've seen something, because there's some crackpots over there, and that girl is one. She is a crackpot. Maybe ill, which is unfortunately maybe ill, but. I don't know. I don't know how he's getting away. I don't know why that we haven't got the same. Maybe English defence lawyers are better than American ones, because that outfit that she sewed herself up with, woof, she's going to be.
Right. We'll cut this short tonight, because I just want to get your views on what you think the next few years are going to bring. What do you think is going to happen in the next maybe 12 months, 18 months?
I don't know, mate, because I don't know, because I mean, you know, there were certain things that we went into previously.
You know, because there's an agenda here. There's an agenda.
Well, I've said to you, we used to talk plenty, and I've turned around and said to you that it just seems somehow coincidentally that every country in the world seems to have all the right people at all the right time, all rightly lined up, all doing exactly the same.
Yeah.
All doing exactly the same.
Yeah.
You know, we've got Boris Johnson turning round and
they're all in unison.
They're all doing it at the same time.
Like
they're all doing it at the same time.
They're all
so
working for the
in 2
same,
years' time,
same agenda.
I heard Rishi Sunak on television, sat on a lovely, lovely bright sofa the other day. Not seeing him in Parliament, but he was sat on a really bright sofa the other day. I don't know who he was talking to. And the man himself has turned around and said what the agenda is. He sat there and said, cashless.
Yes.
Cashless
society.
Cashless.
Digital.
Because what it'll
do, get rid of the
what
money.
it'll do, it'll stop everything. It'll stop everything, because it'll be what do they call the passports? What do they call that passport with the thing on the back? It's a little symbol on the passport. What's the name of it?
I mean C19.
Well, it doesn't matter. If you've got a right passport from the passport office, and I turn up as a 6-year-old Chinese girl trying to get smuggled out under my name, it don't matter if it's a false passport that they're trying to cut up. There's something on the back where when they scan this, it brings my face up, and you can go through and you can scan your eyes and things like that. Something Genic or something it's called. All passports have all got it on. It'll be done like that, so it'll stop everything. It'll stop benefit frauds, multi-claims. It'll stop people.
Who flung down?
It'll just stop it. It'll stop immigration. There'll be no point of immigration. There'll be no point of immigration.
Well, there's no point to that already. We've already
There'll be no point.
Of them, haven't we?
There'll be no.
We've already accepted loads of them.
Yeah, but. The immigration side of things, but they have turned around and said, now I don't know if it's because it's been shit weather off at Coast of Dorset, but they have turned around and said that since they've said that they're going to send them
shit weather off the Coast of Dorset.
They turned around and said
you can't land a dinghy. It's shit weather. You can't land a dinghy.
Do you know what? I'll be truthfully freaking. Do you know what? I'll be fucking honest with you now, Rob. It's that shit in this country that I'm actually thinking of going to fucking Scarborough, right? Buying myself a dinghy, going offshore, right, and getting an holiday in Rwanda, getting out of here for a few. I'm
coming
thinking
with you.
of doing
I'm
that.
coming with you.
I think I'm doing
I'm
that.
coming.
I'm thinking of doing that. I'll row myself in. I'll pretend I'm foreign, and I'll go see if I can make me money.
No speaker Inglo.
I'll go see if anybody wants to buy a bed in Rwanda. I think I'll resettle because over here I can't get a council flat. I couldn't get benefits.
No.
They'd make my life that impossible. They'd make it that squirmy that you'd go clean gutters rather than claim benefits. So I know that's the system from America. It used to be to help you, now it's to put you off.
Listen,
so
mate,
if I can go to Rwanda, right, I get my board and lodgings, right. All right, I have to stay in a detention centre for a bit, but I'll get I'll get accommodation. You know what I mean? I'll get a job.
Do you know what grieves me, my friend? Do you know what
and it's a new start in Rwanda.
All my life, as you have, I've worked all my life, yeah? I've paid taxes, I've paid national insurance, and I know if ever I needed to go to hospital, that I will probably have an 8-hour wait in hospital.
For what?
Probably more.
For what?
Just to be looked at. Whether it's an emergency or not, but just to be looked at, I'd have an 8-hour wait if I went out to go to hospital.
Because everybody's working from home?
It's because of... I've got to be careful what I say here.
Appointments and...
I've got to be careful, very careful what I say here. But there's a lot of people out here probably watching this video now who will agree with me that people like myself have contributed. I'm a UK citizen. I've paid all my life.
Rob, I'll be truthfully honest with you, mate. The thing that you go into hospital, right, and this is it now. This is simple as that. I don't care what anybody says. You go into hospital and they've got a sheet and they've got an agenda. We don't know about it. There's things goes on. We don't know what goes on behind. And I'm telling you straight now, mate. You go in and they're filling the when they take down your details in that ambulance, mate. Determines the details that is on that form that they hand over determines how you get treatment and what level of treatment you get on the NHS. So if you're a 60-year-old bloke, right? And 62-year-old bloke, and on your form on that ambulance it says smokes, drinks, whatever the bad points are now, right?
I'm fucked.
Right, and then another and then another 72-year-old bloke walks in, right?
Yeah.
Don't drink, don't smoke.
Yeah.
Honestly, mate. Honestly,
I'm fucked.
Honestly. You're talking.
Which is what I already knew. I already knew that.
You know, you're talking.
I already knew that.
You know, you're talking to a bloke who was downstairs in accident emergency.
Listen, mate, NHS service when it first got introduced, just after the Second World War, I believe.
It's too much.
It was fantastic.
Yeah, because matrons run wards.
Because
the people who cared ran it.
Yeah. Now it's all changed.
Well,
and it's only going to go downhill, mate. We know that.
It's all everything. It's all corrupt.
Yeah.
It's all corrupt. Yeah. Everything, every level of it, every stage, every contract. It's all corrupt. All the contracts, all that. You know, it's who was it that? I think it was. You can say your bad points about Trump. Sometimes he used to make me laugh, but one of the things that he turned around and I used to think to myself, do you know what? You are bang. If you have got, this is one, I think he said it about the NHS. I actually truthfully think that he either said it about something in America or something about the NHS over here. And what his point was, if you've got 35 regions of your NHS, right?
Yeah.
Apart from certain specialised equipment, none of these will probably use the same supplier. And he turned around and says, if you need 1 million rolls, 1 million bread rolls, then why not get the 1 million bread rolls and you can get them down to 10p each or 5p each? Yeah. Why does 35 different individuals get their bread rolls from 35 or maybe even more different suppliers? Because someone, why not buy everything from one place?
Yeah.
You know, and it's true. It's true.
Well, thank you, Brian, for being with me tonight.
No worries.
I'm going to call it a day. We're on about just under 20 minutes.
All right.
Thank you for your input.
No problem.
I really appreciate it.
No problem.
And I look forward to our next chat.
No problem. And I hope Johnny Depp wins. If she is ill, If
Johnny
she is
Depp.
ill, if she, I mean, this crazy shit. I just have to get this out there.
Go on.
I mean, if it's true, because to be honest with you, I've been watching lots and lots and lots and lots of coverage of it, and I hadn't even noticed myself until somebody said the other day. Apparently, she's dressing as witnesses that appeared the day before, and she's dressed whatever John. And it first started off, she was copying what Johnny Depp wore. So if Johnny Depp wore a certain outfit on a Monday, she copied it on a Tuesday, and I'll be honest with you, I never really noticed.
Right.
Now, she's either doing one of two things. She's either ill. Now, he ain't the first bloke that she smacked. She smacked women and blokes. She's hit her sister and she's hit her best friend as well, and that's documented, so I'm not libeling anybody. But
what you got to remember is
she's doing
ill,
one.
mate. It
No,
could be
but
a
she's
clone.
doing one of two things.
It could be a clone.
No, but she's doing one of two things, mate.
Do you believe in clones,
Either
Brian?
she is ill.
Do you believe in clones?
Oh, I don't know about that.
Hey, that's the topic for
I'll tell
another
you what
day.
I'm saying.
That's the topic for another day.
People are looking very different. People look very
Yes.
different on a daily basis, mate.
That's
all
that
I'm
is
saying.
the topic.
And
that's the topic for another day,
people are
folks.
looking, and Saddam Hussein had them for years.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We will be back soon. All the best and take care.